How are red and white wine prepared? Making of wine. Red wine. Red wine, white wine, or most wines are produced by fermentation of grapes. In case of red wine, it is red or black grapes, followed by months or years of aging to yield 10 to 20% alcohol. In first step, grapes are passed through a mechanical destemmer crusher to remove the stems and release the juice. The juice, stems and skin are transferred to a fermentation tank for fermentation process. In the fermentation tank, they remain for up to 2 to 3 weeks, in which yeast slowly converts the grape sugar to alcohol by process of fermentation. The species of yeast that is used to ferment grape juice into wine is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Carbon dioxide is also produced in this process. What is fermentation? Fermentation is a process in which sugar and starch molecule are broken down to carbon dioxide and ethanol in absence of air. Enzymes usually found in microorganisms such as yeast, which is a unicellular fungi, catalyze fermentation. Yeast reacts with sugar to turn it into alcohol and carbon dioxide. C6H12O6 changes to 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2. That is, sugar changes to ethanol plus carbon dioxide. Sugars involved are glucose and fructose. Both are fermentable, that is, they can be used by yeasts for fermentation, and they share the same formula C6H12O6. The skin gives a red color to the juice, now considered wine, and it is separated from the skin and stem by passing it through a press tank. The wine is then pumped into barrels. Barrels are made of oak, where it continues to ferment and develop in a process known as aging. During aging, residue settles to the bottom of the barrel and forms a sediment called the lees. Aging allows oxygen to enter and water and alcohol to escape. The acidity decreases, clarification takes place, and components of wine form compounds to enhance flavor and aroma. The wood also contributes to the flavor. Malolactic fermentation commonly occurs during the aging of red wines and contributes to the mellowing of the wine. Winemakers may separate the wine from the lees in a process called racking, that is, transferring the wine to clean casks. The wine is mechanically bottled, corked, and packaged. Making of wine. White wine. White wine is not really white but in fact yellow. Fermentation of white wine is more delicate than fermentation of red wine. In the first process, the grapes are passed through a destemmer crusher and the must is immediately passed through a press that applies pressure to separate the juice from the skins and the stems. Must is the juice of freshly pressed grapes prior to fermentation into wine. Must contains various quantities of pulp, skins, stems, and seeds called pomace or grape solids. In white wine production, the grapes are separated from the skins and stems before fermentation. The wine is pumped into barrels. Barrels are made of oak, where it continues to ferment and develop in a process known as aging. Aging allows oxygen to enter and water and alcohol to escape. The acidity decreases, clarification takes place, and components of wine form compounds to enhance flavor and aroma. The wood also contributes to the flavor. Malolactic fermentation commonly occurs during the aging of white wines and contributes to the mellowing of the wine. During aging, residue settles to the bottom of the barrel and forms a sediment called lees. Lees consists of dead yeast, fruit debris, and brine. Winemakers may separate the wine from the lees in a process called racking and transferring the wine to clean casks. The wine is mechanically bottled, corked, and packaged. The difference between both preparations is that in red wine preparation, stems and skins are removed after fermentation process, whereas in white wine preparation, stems and skins are removed before the fermentation process. White can be produced from any color of grapes.